for the IPCC, the way we look at the overshoot, it means that we are temporarily, not permanently, exceeding this 1.5 increase in the global average temperature above pre-industrial levels. So we look at the 1.5 as a long-term target, right? So this means that the 1.5 might be exceeded for up to several decades, but that does not necessarily mean that the 1.5 has definitely been crossed on a permanent basis. So it is still possible, though extremely challenging, to return to 1.5 by the end of the century. So technically, it is possible to temporarily exceed this 1.5 and bring the temperature back down by relying on carbon dioxide removal methods. However, the more we exceed this 1.5, the more difficult, the more expensive it will be to return to below 1.5 degrees Celsius. And there is also a limit on how much these methods, the CDR methods, can achieve. So they cannot compensate for any degree of overshoot. So let's see. So some scenarios look at these pathways that limit warming to 1.5 via temporary overshoot. And typically, these scenarios lead to a temperature peak of 1.7 around the middle of the century before they return to 1.5 at the end of the century. So for the period of the overshoot, there would be a greater risk of the climate impacts associated with the higher temperature levels, for instance, on natural ecosystems, food and water security, extreme weather, and certainly if the period of the overshoot is longer. So some of these impacts could be irreversible.
Right.
And then, for instance, on certain ecosystems with low resilience, such as polar, mountain, coastal ecosystems, or by accelerating sea level rise. So the risks to humans increase, including the infrastructure, low-lying coastal settlements, and so on. So overshooting, depending on how long it lasts, how high it is, can have irreversible impact